All praises to the Most High Yahweh Bashem Mashiach Yahweh Shai. Shabbat Shalom to all of you ladies out there. Shabbat Shalom. We are here, I have to say. We are here, and I'm so thankful we are here to see another Sabbath day. It's raining outside. Hopefully that sustains and it like rains through the Shabbats, which I love. So in all thy ways we acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path, Khan. And this is the day that Yah has made, and we shall rejoice and be glad in it. I'm looking at my phone, and I see all these new icons. Shabbat Shalom. Oh, Thawada says, Thawada. You love the necklace. Betsy Johnson. She has the coolest jewelry. It's so cool. She always does like costume jewelry, and it's always like over the top. Even that bear necklace I have with all those like gummy bear kind of necklaces. Betsy Johnson. So yeah, you guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, isn't she unique? She's very unique. She is very unique. I need my little fan. How are y'all doing today? Yes. Yes. Yeah, you'll find her in TJ Maxx. That's where I find all my jewelry. Yes, in TJ Maxx. TJ Maxx is like for the fashionistas. Little Marshalls, little TJ Maxx, little Ross sometimes, you know. Don't play yourself, okay? Don't play yourself. The water says, beloved lion, it's the water. And welcome to the chat, everybody. Yes, don't play yourself. That's where the fashionistas go, you know. A butterfly chain from her. See, Mars? I know. Bessie Johnson is, she be on point with that jewelry. On point. Well, welcome, Shauna. Shania? I don't know. Which one? I tell you, I'll be botching up them names, honestly. The Wada Cassandra, the Wada. Welcome to all of you guys. If this is your first time watching, then welcome. First time being on the live, welcome. If you're returning, then welcome back, my sisters. Welcome back. Shabbat Shalom. Yes, I see the energy. I'm in such great spirits. Such great spirits today. I don't know what's going on. It's fabulous. I don't know, but we're going to take it. So take your Bibles out. We are going to read the foundational scriptures, and we're starting with Titus 2, 3 through 5. Yes, Shabbat Shalom to all of y'all coming in the chat. And it reads as follows: the age women likewise, that they be in behaviors becoming holiness, not false accusers, not given to much wine, teachers of good things. Yes, it did. Yahweh's daughter. Yes, my eye has healed. It's healing. I'll say that. It is healing. It's not 100%, but it looks a lot better. I mean, it was looking crazy last week. Not crazy, but well, yeah. But it's definitely healing. The water for all the prayers that you guys sent up for your girl, because you know the eye was like acting up, but now it's getting there. It's getting there. Drusilla, it's your first live. Drusilla. Well, welcome, Drusilla. The water, Yahweh's daughter. The water. I appreciate that. Verse number 4. They may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of Yah be not blasphemed. That is our foundational scriptures. All of our lessons come out of these verses. We are always going into good things. Going into good things. So, this lesson right here, like I always say, this is such a good lesson. I'm going to say that all the time because I'm always feeling my lessons. And I'm feeling this one no differently. No differently, okay? This one is titled, all praises, Tina. She's like, I'm excited about this lesson. All right. Amar, something might have been going around. It's that time. I didn't even know that, but a lot of people, yeah, be getting stuff. It'd be, you know. Luckily, mine wasn't like that. It wasn't from anybody. But this lesson this week is so phenomenal. Okay, it's Most High's word just be coming out. We coming out of John 15, the full chapter. We're gonna go through the full chapter of John 15. Well, up to verse 23, but almost the full chapter of John 15. This is gonna be a short and mighty lesson. This is not even gonna be long. I'm gonna go through the chapter. We're gonna pull a couple precepts to kind of bounce around a little bit, and then that's it. It's gonna be a short and mighty lesson today, because you know John 15 says everything you need to say. So let me give you a preface here of what we're going to be talking about. So it's titled The Secret to Spiritual Growth, Abide in the Vine, right? The secret to spiritual growth. What is the secret? Is to abide in the vine. I'll say this. As people in the truth, as even Christians are, as even anybody that believes in a higher power and is into their quote religion, your spirituality, sometimes I think all of us get kind of caught up with doing the most, right? You know, we put on our scarves, we put on the garb, we put on, you know, whatever it is to like make it up, you know, fringes, we put on skirts, we put on, you know, if you're men, you put on like, you know, the whole ephod, you know, we do a whole lot. We're running around with our camps and we're, you know, doing in the ministry, if you're in church and you're just doing, you know, all of this stuff and you're just doing, you know, doing activities. I don't want to say the work because you know what the work means, but doing a lot of activities, you know, helping out here, helping out there, just kind of doing a lot, you know, and just thinking that doing a lot and visibly looking like a whole lot is going to somehow solidify your salvation. Somehow it's going to impress the Most High or impress men. Don't know, got to be your own values. Don't know which one, but it'd be for a couple different reasons. And we find ourselves doing a whole lot of activities and thinking that that's just all we need to do. The reason why I wanted to bring up this lesson is because John 15 goes into this. If you really want spiritual growth, if you really want to solidify your salvation or work on your, you can't really solidify, but work on your salvation with fear and trembling, and really do all you can for the Most High, it's found as law, statutes, and commandments and abiding in the vine. And he's going to go into exactly what that means. Because when you're abiding in the vine, it means that you're attached to Yahushai. Yahushai is the vine, we're the branches. And again, let's just turn to it. Go to John 15. And this is the Gospel of John, like in the Gospel, Mark, Matthew, Luke, and John. So go to John chapter 15. So when you think about all of these things and you think, you know, yes, I can do all these activities. I can do all of this stuff. It's going to keep me on fire because I'm just busy, right? I'm not getting weary. I'm doing a whole lot and I'm just going to be straight. You know, I'm doing a whole lot. But then other people might see you do something that's going off. You might fall out the truth completely. You might be caught up in some wickedness. The water beloved line, if you're putting the scriptures in the chat. You might be caught up in some wickedness. And other people are like, oh, how could they? They were so holy. How could she? How could he? Their fringes were to the ground. How could her head wrap was to the sky? Never thought that he would do it, she would do it, they would be this way or that way. Like, oh my gosh. What? They aren't abiding in the vine. Aren't abiding in the vine. When you are attached to Yahushai, when you are committed to the law, statutes, and commandments, it will bear fruit. You won't go off. We still are in the flesh, but you know what I mean. Not willingly. You won't fall into wickedness. You won't fall into your sin. You will follow the law. You'll bear fruit and do the works and have the spirit because you are abiding in the vine, right? So that's why I wanted to bring this lesson out so we understand that we have to be worried about what goes on in the dark. What goes on behind the scenes? What goes on when nobody's looking? What goes on when you don't have your fringes on? What goes on when you're not in the scriptures? What goes on when you're not around your congregation? How are you? Who are you? Right? That's what Yah sees. That's what Yahushai sees. Who are you? Are you abiding in the vine? Right? So let's get into it. I'm excited about this lesson. Okay, so like I said, we're going to be doing some reading here. We're going to start John 15, verse 1. Reads as follows. I am the vine. Sorry, Salakia. Let's start. Got to deal with right. Salakia. I am the true vine, says Yahushua. This whole entire chapter is red letter. So when you're reading in your Bibles and you see any red letter, it came from Yahushua's mouth. His disciples wrote it down. He said it from his mouth. This whole entire thing is red letter, this whole chapter. So let's start again. So chapter John 15, verse 1. I am the true vine, and my Father is the husbandman. Every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away. And every branch that beareth fruit, he purgeth it, that it may bring forth more fruit. Actually, before I get into this, let me say a couple more things. Hold on. I kind of jumped into it. I didn't even read my notes. I just went off the spirit right there. I have talking points. Okay, back up, Susanna. Hold on. Okay, I wanted to say a couple other things. Okay, and then we'll jump into John 15. Okay, so the absolute most important single act for us, for the house of Israel, is making space to encounter our Heavenly Father in the secret place, right? In the secret place. So abiding in Yah, why Yahweh Shai, is the foundation on which every other aspect of this walk finds success. I have to say that, right? It establishes roots. We get roots in this truth when we are on this walk. And that enables us to receive all that we need to bear the fruit of the Spirit, right? So you have to make sure that you're in that secret place with Yahweh Shai. That's how you're going to be bearing the fruit of the Spirit. So it guides us to revival, constant revival in the Most High's presence. So what that's going to do is it's going to supply and sustain the abundant life the Most High has for us. So now let's go to verse 3. And it reads as follows. Now ye are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you. So now let's precept that a little bit, because we know that when you're getting cleansed, that it's not through baptism. And if you don't know, I'll say it. If you don't know, when you get cleansed, it's not being cleansed through a water cleansing. When you're getting cleansed, it should be through the word. It should absolutely be through the word. Now this happened to me last week. This bear died on me. Y'all see I'm getting a little... It has been off the charger for a couple days. So I should have been a little more proactive. I was not proactive. So I'm going to take out my backup. Well, we're going to let it go to a rock out. Let's let it go to a rock out, okay? Because I need it right now. You know, somebody said to me the other day online, they were like, maybe it's premenopause. I don't know. I am getting older. I am like 45. Might be just getting hot. I don't know. But anyway. All right, so verse 3. Now ye are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you. So now let's precept that with Ephesians 5:26. So hold John 15, because we're going to be bouncing around. Hold John 15. I need something to hold this. Salakia. Here we go. All right, so hold that. Go to Ephesians 5:26. And this right here is going to be saying, girl, 7 is like, I'm in the thick of it. Girl, I had to like tell my husband that. I was like, we getting old together, honey, because your girl got to be looking at why I'm getting so hot all the time. It just might be because of my age. I mean, I can't think that it's not, or I can't not think that it is. You never know. It does happen around this age. Anyway, so Ephesians 5:26 reads as follows. That he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word. By the word. So highlight this. So when you want to write in your notes, baptism, like if anybody that might be coming out of the Christian world might be asking you about baptism, and they're like, should we not, should we be cleansed by water? Those are the two. Well, there's another one I'm going to pull, but there's multiple scriptures that say you should be getting washed by the word. Because if you think about it, when we were all on our walks prior to this, or in any kind of faith walk in, let's just say the Christian life, let's just say that, just forget it, because I don't think Muslims do it. So if you were a Christian and you got baptized at any point in time in your life, we can all attest that that didn't change us. I know it didn't change me. I think I got baptized a couple times. I think I got dunked in the water at least 2 times. From one when I was young and one when I was older, and I decided to do it myself. So since that's the case, I can even say, no, I did not change. I did not change at all. Nothing changed in me until the word. Exactly. No change, Amaris. Nothing changed in me until the word changed me. Didn't change it at all. That's right, beloved line. It didn't change at all. Now, when the word started getting in you, and the Most High took that veil off you and you started reading your scriptures, that cleansed you. It cleansed you. Like, you absolutely changed from the word. So let's read it again. Ephesians 5:26. That he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word. By the word. Exactly. It changed when I got in the truth. That's right. Change when you got in the truth. So now let's go back to John 15:3. Now ye are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you. So let's also hold it again and go to Psalms 119:9. So Psalms 119:9. We're still talking about being cleansed by the word, not water. So Psalms 119, right? Women of Yahshua, like, calm. We did not change, y'all. Just that is a falsehood, okay? You change by the word, and change completely. Get filled with the Holy Spirit. You are a whole new creature. You are just everything the Most High describes in the Word. You're cleansed by the Word, Con. All right, so verse 9. So Psalm 119 and 9. Wherewithal shall a young man, that's right, that living water cleansed our spirit. The water, woman of Yah, the living water. That's right. So Psalm 119 and 9 reads as follows. Wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way? By taking heed thereto according to thy word. So that's another one, according to thy word. And that goes right with John 15 and 3, goes right with Ephesians 5 and 26, and it goes right with Psalm 119 and 9. Wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way? By taking heed thereto according to thy word. So now let's go back to John 15 and we're going to continue. So verse number 4, John 15 and 4. Abide in me and I in you, as the branch cannot bear fruit of itself, except it abide in the vine. No more can ye, except ye abide in me. And the next verse is why we brought out this whole entire lesson. Verse 5. I am the vine, and ye are the branches. He that abideth in me, and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit. For without me ye can do nothing. Now, before I break that verse down, let's hold it and go to Philippians 4 and 13 and bring out the classic. Philippians 4 and 13. There we go. Philippians 4 and 13 reads as follows. I can do all things through Hamashiach Yahushai, which strengtheneth me. So apart from him, we can do nothing. With him, we can do all things. Con, with him, we can do all things. So let's go back to that again. So it goes back to what I was originally saying when I opened up this video. We can have all these activities that we might do. We can have all these things that might keep us busy and how we're running around and think we're doing it for Yah. But you could be doing it for the vanity. You could be doing it for man. You could be doing it for whatever reasons. And I mean when your heart isn't pure and totally locked in to Hamashiach Yahushai. That's what I mean. Doing all that stuff. Thinking and kind of convincing yourself that that's all you need to do. This is why verse 5 is why I wanted to have this whole entire lesson. Verse 5 again, John 15 and verse 5 again. I am the vine, ye are the branches. That he that abideth in me and I in him, and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit. For without me, ye can do nothing. So nothing's gonna happen. You're not gonna you're gonna do activities, but you won't truly be doing the work that counts to Yahweh. For him to really say, yes, you bared much fruit. Because the next verse is crazy town. So let's read verse 6 and see how Yahweh really feels. He's like, if you ain't bearing no fruit, if you're not locked into us, this is what's going to happen. Verse 6, John 15 and 6. If a man abide not in me, he is cast forth as a branch and is withered, and men gather them and cast them into the fire, and they are burned. And that even goes into Revelation, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, you will be in darkness and gnashing of teeth. Like, Yahweh's like, look, if you're not bearing no fruit, I ain't got no need for you. No need for you if you're not bearing any fruit. That's the focus. That's what we have to be doing in this grace period. We have to make sure that we are doing all we can to abide in the vine. And when you're doing that and you're following his law, statutes, and commandments, and you're locked into Yahushai, then he'll bear that fruit. You will start to do the things that magnify Yahweh by Yahushai's name. Not just doing things because you think it's this or you think it's that. It's actually getting things done that are going to bear real fruit, right? So let's continue on here. Actually, no, let's pull a precept here for verse 6. So verse 6 again, and we're going to hold this and go to 1 John. If a man abide not in me, he is cast forth as a branch and is withered, and men gather them and cast them into the fire, and they are burned. So hold it, and let's go to 1 John 2 and 19. 1 John My little bear holding on. Holding on. Thought it was going to die. Holding on. All right. So 1 John 2:19 reads as follows. They went out from us, but they were not of us. For if they had been of us, they would no doubt have continued with us. But they went out, that they might be made manifest, that they were not all of us. I mean, he says it right there. This is how you just going to be pushed to the side. This is how Yahweh Shai in the book of Matthew said, Lord, Lord, will many say to me in that day, have I not cast out devils in thy name? Have I not done many wonderful works in thy name? And he says, depart from me, ye workers of iniquity. Depart from me. So, no. That's why verse 19, 1 John 2:19 is, you got to highlight that. They went out from us, but they were not up. So he said went out from us. So they were ones that were holy, right? People that we thought were in the truth. People that we saw that looked the part, did what we thought should be done. Might even thought they did it better than us, right? They went out from us, but they were not of us. For if they had been of us, they would no doubt have continued with us. So he ain't talking about somebody that's all on the other side, that's not a follower, not a believer, not somebody that wasn't in the truth. He ain't talking about that. He's talking about somebody that's here with us and has fallen off because they're not bearing any fruit. So if you're not bearing any fruit because you're not connected to the vine, then he's like, well, they would no doubt have continued with us, but they went out, that they might be made manifest that they were not all of us, right? All right, so let's go back to John 15, and we're going to continue on here. Salakia. John 15, and we are going down to verse 7. If ye abide in me, and my words abide in you, ye shall ask what ye will, and it shall be done unto you. Herein is my Father glorified, that ye bear much fruit. So shall ye be my disciples. Now this precept that we about to pull goes so beautifully with this. And it's going to give you such reassurance, right? Such reassurance. It doesn't also apply to someone new in the truth. You're saying that, I think I know what you're saying. So you're saying that abiding in the vine doesn't also apply to someone new. No, because I think I think it still does. No, I still think it does, because when you're new in the truth, even if somebody that's been in the truth for a long period of time is still called by the Most High. So if you're called by the Most High, then He already knows your potential, and He already He knows other people's gonna fall out the truth too. But I say that in the sense of He knows when you already have a sincere heart. The people that are not abiding in the vine that I'm talking about are people that don't have a sincere heart. They're in the truth. They're doing everything they need to do, but you're not the bearing of the fruit part, because you're new in the truth. I mean, all that's up to the Most High on how He feels that you're actually bearing in the fruit. It does take time to, have a close relationship with the Most High, but the focus that you can have can start as soon as you get into the truth. Having that focus, so to the Most High, that will go to you bearing fruit for sure. Now you will in the beginning obviously fall. You know what I mean? You're gonna fall, but it's about that repentance, right? How can you bear the fruit? Well, you're bearing fruit, Salakia. I'm not getting hot here again. Every time I put it down, I need it again. When you are bearing fruit, it is coming from the works that you're doing, but you're doing them, and you can go back to being in the, let's pull Galatians. Let's just pull Galatians, because I can stumble on this and stumble over it. But let's read the fruits of the Spirit, and that's what is your answer. Instead of me trying to say exactly what it is, let's pull the scriptures and let the scriptures speak. So Galatians 5, and we're going to read, where do I want to start? I think I can start with 22. Mm, I'll start with 18. Gosh, the whole thing is like so good. Actually, I might start with 16. Okay, so this is your answer. So Galatians 5, I'm going to start with 16. This I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. For the flesh lusteth after the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh. And these are contrary the one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would. But if ye be led of the spirit, ye are not under the law. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these works of the flesh: adultery, fornication, uncleanliness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, envyings, murderers, drunkenness, revelings, and such alike. And of such I tell you before, as I have also told you in times past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High. So that goes back into what we were reading out of John 15, right? So this is the kicker right here. So verse 22, Galatians 5 and 22, for the fruit of the spirit. So this is how you're bearing fruit. So when you want to know what the fruit actually is, it's always going to be in Galatians 5 and 22. For the fruit of the spirit is love, joy, peace, long suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. And I'll skip to 25. If we live in the spirit, let us also walk in the spirit. So that is how you're going to bear fruit, regardless of if you've been in for a short period of time or been in for a long period of time. If you're going to bear fruit, it's you doing all of these things, right? So it's not about the activities that we do. It's not about us saying, well, I can dress the part, look the part, and I can, bring food to Passover, right? I can, make sure that I'm helping, just different things that you want to do. So it's about making sure that you are doing what the Most High wants you to do. You can do all those activities. I'm not saying don't do any of that stuff, but not doing it sincerely, and you're doing it just because you think these are the things that are going to please the Most High. The Most High is pleased when you do this stuff, right? The fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. So that is what changes you. Because if you think about when we were new and you're coming out of the world and you still have a lot of those spirits on you, then you're not a person that is meek. You're not a person that has temperance, which is self-control. You might have an anger spirit. You might get angry fairly quickly. You're not going to have long suffering, which means a lot of patience. You're not going to have a lot of peace, because there's a lot of stress that comes from the world. You're not going to have a lot of faith, because that comes from the Most High, right? How do you deal with somebody trying to move in the fruit of the spirit if someone constantly is attacking you in your household? Stay in the scripture and fast and pray for that person, especially if that person is in the truth as well. And even if they're not, if they're Israel, then definitely still pray for them. But if they're constantly attacking you, pray to get those spirits off of them. You can fast for somebody else, right? You can fast and pray for somebody else. Never think fasting and prayer is just for yourself. You can fast and pray for somebody else that is being spiritually attacked. So if that person is an Israelite, right, then you can go up and throw those fasts up for that person. And as long as you are in good standing with the Most High, because you're doing all you can to follow his law, statutes, commandments, your prayers will be answered, and that person will get worked on by him. So then those spiritual attacks that are coming against you from that person will subside on the Most High's time, but they will, because it just means that there's spirits in your household. They're on that person and they're attacking you. So you got to throw up some fast. That's how you get rid of them. Believe me, I know. So go back to John, and I'm glad that was the answer. Got to answer with scripture. That's why it's scriptures with Susanna. You know what I'm saying? This ain't just Susanna. Okay. Ain't just answering myself around here. Got to be like, what's the scriptures? They're new to the truth. Only if they're in Israel. Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I will hope you're not living with like Gentiles in your house, because the Most High says definitely don't be attached to them. But yes, you should be living with other Israelites. Yeah, all right. So, because if you're not, that's a whole nother lesson and a whole nother, that's going to take me off over here. So, hopefully, you're living with Israelites, which is the so called African Americans, so called Native Americans, so called people that are of Hispanic descent. So, yes, hopefully you're living with Israelites, the 12 tribes of Israel, somebody that's from the 12 tribes. All right, so we're going to pick up on verse 8. Another lesson for another time. Right, Mars? That's going to go too far into where we are not talking about if they not Israelites. That's, and why you not living with Israel. Like, we not going there. But we're going to read verse 8. So back to John 15:8 reads as follows. Herein is my Father glorified, that ye bear much fruit. So shall ye be my disciples. Now, what I said, we're going to Matthew 5:16. So hold that and go to Matthew 5:16. Yes, I agree, beloved Linus. Welcome all new sisters. I know it seems like a couple of sisters in the chat are new, so welcome. That you've been woken up and called by the Most High. All praises. It's always good. Most High just constantly waking people up, constantly calling his sheep into him. It is a beautiful thing to see. Because I've been there for 10 years, so it's so great to see how much that his word is going out and how many new people are waking up. It is so beautiful. So Matthew 5:16 reads as follows. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. Con, love that. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works. And what are the good works? It goes back to Galatians 5:22, the fruits of the Spirit. The water remembering, yeah, you love the lives. Well, welcome, sis. Janelle, that is for another lesson as well. Who are the Gentiles? Everybody that's not in the 12 tribes of Israel. I just said, I don't even have to, that's not another lesson. Right now, I can answer that. Anybody that is not in the 12 tribes of Israel are Gentiles. Now, some Gentiles that are in the Testament, that are in the New Testament, are Israelites that are Hellenized, like how we are in America. So you can call us like Hellenized, you're Israelite, but we speak English, and you're Hellenized because you're not speaking Paleo Hebrew all the time. So anybody that is not the 12 tribes of Israel, to the Most High is a heathen, to the Most High is a Gentile. So I love the scripture right here about in Matthew 5:16, let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. Because when you look at the fruits of the Spirit, I'm glad that question was brought out, because all of that goes into what we're talking about here. Abiding in the vine is bearing the fruits. So if he's saying, then you have to make sure you bear the fruit. That's why a sister was like, well, what's the fruit? See, I love that right there. See, this is why lives are so good. All right, so go back to Matthew 9. As the Father hath loved me, so have I loved you. Continue ye in my love. If ye keep my commandments, ye shall abide in my love. So that's why when I even went through this lesson with my husband was like, you gotta be following the law, statutes, and commandments. You gotta be following the law, statutes, and commandments. You cannot abide in the vine if you're not following. And see, he's right, because look at what Yahushua said in verse 10. If ye keep my commandments, ye shall abide in my love, even as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in his love. You see that right there? That's a cut to all people that are Christians talking about the laws in the Old Testament. We in the New Testament now. It's been pinned to the cross of Jesus. Well, this is what Yahushua said in the New Testament, in John, and even if you go to John 14, see, we're in John 15. Go to John 14. You can precept it with John 14. And John 14 says, John 14:15, if ye love me, keep my commandments. If ye love me, keep my commandments. And John 15:10 says, even as I have kept my Father's commandment and abide in his love, right? These things have I spoken unto you, that my joy may remain in you, and that your joy might be full. Do you know what he means by the came to fulfill the law, not to destroy it? Yes, I'm going to say this really quickly, because if we're talking about the law, statutes, and commandments, I'll say it because it kind of goes into it. When Yahushua was crucified for our sins, he was crucified for just fulfilling two laws. He fulfilled the judgmental law and the sacrificial law. We no longer have to sacrifice animals for when we sin. That was always done in the Old Testament. And we no longer will be judged and stoned for sinning like it was in the Old Testament. So that's what he fulfilled. So when he said, I came to fulfill the laws, he came to fulfill those two things. So we still have to follow all his law, statutes, and commandments, but we no longer have to burn a bull. We no longer have to worry about being judged on the spot when we do something that's sinful, right? So that's what he means. So I can answer that quickly. All right, so 15, yes, John 15 and 12. This is my commandment, that ye love one another as I have loved you. Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lie down his life for his friends. Ye are my friends. If ye do whatsoever I command you, that's right. Ye are my friend. I love this right here that he even says that. I've read this Bible multiple times, and when I read it the other night, though, read this verse the other night, I was like, when did he say that? Like, you can read the scriptures and read it again and read it again, and something else will hit you. And I was like, I've never read that, but I have read it, but it's like it just hit different. So John 15 and 14, right? People forget that the animal sacrifices were also happening in the New Testament. Yes, that's very true. Yes, that's very true. Because they were doing what was written. So, right, because when the New Testament is happening, the New Testament is happening as Yahushua is alive. He wasn't crucified until, like, the end of the Gospels, right? So when it's the end of the Gospels, when he's walking following the laws of the Old Testament. You see what I'm saying? So the New Testament can't get written if Yahushua is still currently in his walk. So if he's currently in his walk, then what's he following? He's following Moses, the law of Moses, right? So the New Testament can't get written until he gets sacrificed. So he is, yes, that's right. Don't even worry about it. It says 7. That's right. I got what you were saying. So John 15 and 14, I love this right here. Ye are my friends if ye do whatsoever I command ye. You. I love that. So it's like he's like, you're my friends. That's just so beautiful. Henceforth, I call you not servants, for the servant knoweth not what his Lord does. But I have called you friends, for all things that I have heard of my Father I have made known unto you. Ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you and ordained you, that ye should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain, that whatsoever ye shall ask of the Most High in my name, he may give it to you. These things I command you, that ye love one another. If the world hate you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you. If ye were of the world would love his own. But because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you. Remember the word that I said unto you, the servant is no greater than his Adonai. If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they have kept my saying, they will keep yours also. But all these things will they do unto you for my name's sake, because they know not me, not him that sent me. I love that. Let's read that part again. John 15 and 21. But all these things will they do unto you for my name's sake, because they know not him that sent me. Now let's hold this and let's go to Matthew 10 and 22. Matthew 10 and 22 reads as follows. See if my bear's still working, because I need it again. Let's see. Oh, I was about to say it died. No, it didn't. No. Y'all hear that? What the heck was that? Hopefully that was my husband. I don't know what that was. It was like some loud bang. She said the loud bang was the bear's soul leaving. Calm down. Don't say I don't know what that was. I'm gonna ask my husband. We're almost done, and then I'll get my husband to walk around the house. All right, let's finish up, y'all, because I don't know what that. I think it might have been my trash might have fell over, but let me not assume. You gotta always check. Okay. So Matthew 10 and 22 reads as follows. And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake, but he that endureth to the end shall be saved. Right? Shall be saved. And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. but he that endureth to the end shall be saved. So I wanted to read this till 20, so two more verses in this chapter. I know that's crazy. That sound was loud. Okay, so John 15 and 22. If I had not come and spoken, yes, exactly. Y'all rebukes anything. Yes, let's just say that. Yahweh B'Hashem Mashiach Yahushai, we rebuke anything that is not just my trash falling over. Okay? If it's anything else, we rebuke it in the name of Hamashiach Yahushai. Okay? Yes, we will be investigating. Absolutely. I don't know what that was. That was a loud sound. So we ain't playing around here. And my husband gonna be like, why ain't you saying nothing? Because he got his door closed and he can't hear me and I have to yell and that's just too much. All right, let's finish up. Verse 22. So John 15 and 22. If I had not come and spoken unto them, they had not had sin, but now they have no cloak for their sin. He that hateth me hateth my Father also. So to abide means to remain, to dwell, or to continue in a close relationship with Yahushua. It's also consistently relying on him, right? For strength and for guidance. That's how you abiding in the vine, right? Exactly. Let us know if we need to back up. If I let us know if you need to back up. Yes, I'll let you know if I need some backup. I will let you know for sure. Y'all can come help me. All right, so abiding in the vine is absolutely relying on him so much for everything, right? That's why we brought out Philippians 4 and 13, right? So it's not just doing more and increasing your activities in the truth. It's a continuous, intentional relationship that you're trying to grow with Yahushua. So this is what will allow your spirit to grow, your vitality, your fruitfulness, right? Your fruitfulness, and a deep understanding of Yah's love and his will. So how do you abide? By spending time in prayer, by getting into his word, right? So you can actively listen to and receive from the Most High. You got to actively listen because when you're praying, that's how you're talking to him. When you're reading, that's how you're hearing back from him, right? So you're going to cultivate a conscious awareness of his presence when you grow that relationship, a constant awareness of his presence. So abiding not only renews our minds, it transforms our desires. So we begin to seek more out of life, right? Not less. We want his name to be glorified, right? His will to be done, his kingdom come, right? You want to have the whole thing. So we hope to bear much fruit. We absolutely do. Not for our own glory, but to glorify the Most High in all that we do. So abide in the vine, ladies. Abide in the vine. And that is it, you guys. All praise be to the Most High, Yahweh, Bashem, Mashiach, Yahweh Shai, to a mighty lesson because his word is so mighty. I'm so incredibly thankful that we got to sit and do another Sabbath video. All praise be to the Most High, Yahweh, Bashem, Mashiach, Yahweh Shai. I love all you ladies. I hope you guys have a restful, relaxing, and beautiful Shabbat. As always, get deeper in your knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Get deeper into the truth. I'm so glad y'all love this lesson. Good, 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 good. I'm so glad y'all love this lesson. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All praise be to the Most High for his word. I mean, it's always fantastic all the time. So I am so incredibly thankful this word is edifying because that's all up to the Most High, that he edifies who he wants us to edify and that he wants it to go out to the corners of the earth of where he wants it to go. So wherever you are, love you, ladies, and y'all willing, I will see you all next week. Shabbat Shalom.